of carrying out unlawful behavior a day after it fired water cannons at Philippine vessels near the disputed Scarborough Shoal in South China Sea. In a statement, the Philippines Coast Guard said it was engaged in a mission to resupply more than 35 Philippine fishing boats at the shoal when they encountered aggressive actions by 9 Chinese vessels. In a statement, and in fact, in the latest confrontation comes a week after China approved plans to turn the shoal into a national nature reserve, a move that defense analysts have said would test Manila's response over the 150 square kilometer triangular chain of reefs and rocks. China claims almost the entire South China Sea, overlapping the exclusive economic zones of Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia and Philippines and Vietnam as well. Unresolved disputes have festered for years over ownership of various islands and features. Let's in fact listen into what Philippines Coast Guard spokesperson has to say.
Common sense lang naman, no? Wina-water cannon nila sa likod, wina-water cannon nila sa harap. Tapos lilikuan nila ng ganun. Talaga namang kung tatama talaga sa kanila. But again, it was not intentional. It was actually their lies once again, hiding their unlawful and bullying activities in Baho de Masinloc. What really happened here is that etong dalawang China Coast Guard vessel na humaharas kay Datu Piyang ang nag-conduct ng dangerous maneuver na inilabas nila ngayon sa social media, appearing na tayo ang babangga. But still, habang sinasabi nila tayo ang babangga, binobombahan naman nila ng tubig yung breach nung BFAR vessel. Coercing, threatening, carrying out unlawful behavior, that is pretty much normal for the Chinese government.
Dr. Satoru Nagao, fellow Hudson Institute, joins us live from Tokyo. So thank you so much for your time speaking to us on NewsX World. How do you view this latest flashpoint in the South China Sea?
Activity of China has increased in the Scarborough Shoal. That's why recently the crash between China and the Philippines has reported repeatedly. And at the same time, between China and other countries, including the US, Japan, or other European countries, Australia, indeed, it has reported in some case. So why it has happened? Because of the China try to increase the activity in the Scarborough Shoal. So why the China increased activity in the Scarborough Shoal is the matter. Indeed, Scarborough Shoal is most important place, at least Japan or Western countries are identified, because if China build artificial in the Scarborough Shoal, China's fortress in the South China Sea could be completed. Because currently, China has already set up the artificial island in the Paracel Island and the Spratly Island. So if China builds the Scarborough Shoal, it will be create the triangle, the 3 edges of the South China Sea. They create the artificial island, which is a military base for China. So from these bases, they can deploy fighter jets, missiles, or naval ships around it. In this case, these 3 triangle. Inside of the triangle will be the sacred place. Any fogging ships, the patrol plane can enter and detect Chinese activity inside of the triangle. In this case, China deployed submarine-based ballistic missile. Recent military parade of China revealed the JL-3 missiles. This, if JL-3 is equipped with the submarine and hide in this triangle in the South China Sea, anytime they can attack Washington, D.C. from South China Sea, because missile range will reach, cover the Washington, D.C. So that's why if China builds an artificial island in the Scarborough Shoal, it will be the game changer of China's plan to build the fortress in South China Sea. So of course, full area of South China Sea will be China-controlled area. And view from the nuclear strategy, China will build the nuclear fortress against Washington, D.C. So this means that this will be the game changer. So the Western countries, or Japan, US, or
Right.
Philippines, of course, try to prevent China to build artificial island in the Scarborough Shoal, and that has